everybody.
Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for coming today and welcome to Knicks Media Day. We're excited to tip off the 2018-19 season and let's get started with Kristaps Porzingis.
Any questions, guys?
Kristaps, first of all, how you feeling? How's the knee feeling? And where are you in the recovery? Are you running yet? And is there a timetable yet for when you might return?
Feeling good. Leg is getting stronger. Feeling really, really good. Doing some stuff on the court already, shooting, live running. So making progress every day. And timetable, there's no timetable yet. You know, we're moving forward. We're progressing every day. And whenever I'm ready, I'm going to be back. You can hear me or no?
Yeah.
Kristaps, welcome back. What did it mean to you to have your coach reach out to you and visit you in your homeland?
Yeah, that was important. That was really nice that he came all the way to Latvia, Liepāja, you know, to come visit me and spend some time with me, with his wife, and it was good. You know, he came to see how I worked, what the facilities looked like, where I was working during the summers, and we spent some good time together talking about basketball, talking about life, you know, his personality, my personality, and so on. So we got to know each other a little bit, and then we spent some really, really productive days together.
Hey, Kristaps. Here. Yeah, the decision to do a lot of rehab at Real Madrid, how did that work out? Why did you decide to do it that way? And just in terms of running, you've been cleared to run full out, or what is the exact nature of that?
Yeah, well, first of all, I just wanted to be closer to home. I wanted to. That's why I picked, you know, somewhere in Europe, and that was the best place for me to, you know, keep doing my rehab, and those are the best facilities available. So that's why I made that decision. And I'm running. It's a progression, you know. I'm not sprinting yet, but I'm doing some running, and as I said, I mean, every day is a little bit of progress, something new. So I feel good with where I am right now.
Kristaps, is it hard for you not to get ahead of things when you talk about taking progressions? Is it hard not to push yourself and try and speed this up?
Of course. You know, I'm hungry, and I want to be back on the court as soon as possible. So, you know, it's good that I have a good team around me, good people around me that are holding me back when I need to be held back, and telling me to be patient when I need to be more patient. So it's been a long process. It's already been 7.5 months. So obviously, you know, I'm getting itchy, and I want to be back on the court as soon as possible. But it won't happen until I am 110% and I'm medically cleared. So.
Kristaps over here. Have you reached out to any other players who suffered from the ACL injury on tips of just rehabbing and also in terms of readjusting back to the game? And if so, who and what did they say?
I have, but nothing specific. I mean, some specific things, little things that I had throughout the process. You know, did you have this feeling? Why do I have this feeling? So but more it was Davis Bertans. I talked to him for a little bit because he had a couple of, you know, those injuries, and I reached out to him. But other than that, I mean, every process is different, and you know, every that type of injury has maybe a different timetable and different way of doing things. So we kind of were moving forward, you know, based on how I felt also.
Chris, I know that you only spent a couple days with Coach Fizdale, but based on your time with him at home, did you get the impression that he's the kind of coach that can push you to where you want to be offensively and defensively?
I believe so. I believe that he's that type of person that wants to, you know, get the maximum out of each, you know, player around him. So I think me and him, we could work together really well. with him being able to, ask those things of me and me, keep pushing and try to achieve those things, which are also my goals. So I think we're on the same page there.
Kristaps, I know you said you're itchy to get back and hungry to get back. Is there a scenario in your mind where you might sit out the whole season if you're not feeling 100% by February or so?
It's really hard to say. There's no timetable, as I said, and I'm going to be back when I am healthy and medically cleared, and whenever that is, that's when it's going to happen.
Chris, if you're going to sign an extension off your rookie contract before the start of the season, you do before opening night, is that something you put some thought into over the summer?
That is something I have not thought about. That's something my management is dealing with, and we're going to talk about that whenever it's the right time. Right now, I'm really focused on the knee and coming back strong from this.
Kristaps, when you can't play and obviously to have an immediate impact on the floor, how are you treating that as a cornerstone play when you hear the words culture and process, to know you're not going to be in a more coaching role to begin the season?
Right. Even though I'm not going to be on the court with the guys, I still want to be a leader for the guys, leader for the team, and be there with the team as much as possible, be with the guys, help the guys, and be around the team as much as possible. So that's what I'm going to try to do this season until I start playing.
Kristaps, I know you've probably seen some highlights of Kevin Knox. You've now probably seen him in person, play a little bit. What's your impressions of him, and how are you guys getting along, and what do you envision as a tandem at some point this season?
Yeah, he had some really good highlights in the summer league. I watched a little bit of summer league, and I haven't really seen him in person yet, working out or basketball-wise. I've just seen some conditioning stuff. So, but I'm looking forward to getting to know him more and seeing how he plays and how he thinks and so on. So I can tell you more once I get a little bit more to see him.
Kristaps, to follow up on that a little bit, with so many new players and a lot of youth, how will you go through this progress of your rehab? Will you be with the team a lot, travel? What's sort of the process and the plan right now for you?
That's something we still have to figure out. We're still scheduling all that stuff, but as I said, I want to be around the guys as much as possible, be with the team as much as possible. So that's something we have to plan.
Kristaps, the front office and we've been writing a lot about 2019 free agency and the direction of this team and how this is going to be another rebuilding year. How do you feel about the direction of this team and the idea that it's going to be attractive to free agents a year from now?
So far, it's good vibes around here. It's good energy around here, and it's good to be in an environment like this right now. We'll see. It's hard to say. I just got here from Europe. I'm still adjusting to the time difference. So, but it's good energy around here, and that's the first thing that I saw, and I'm happy about. It's always. I mean, every new season there's good and positive energy. Obviously, it's when things go south a little bit. That's when you have to stay mentally strong and keep pushing forward. But it is a lot of new faces, and it is a good energy. That's all I can say for now.
Kristaps, as you've been going through the rehab and various testing and everything, have they told you anything you've done that's ahead of schedule or behind schedule? When you were expected to do things and when you were able to do them?
No, we haven't really. We've done things differently because there is no protocol for a 7'3" guy. There is no timetable for my type of body, my size, and all that. So we've done things differently. We've been really conservative, and at the same time, I've been killing myself, working. So it's we're just gonna have to move forward and keep progressing, and then see when is the right time for me to be back.
Kristaps, in terms of the last year, it's a new regime. There's a new coach. When you look at the state of the franchise right now, do you like what you see, and are you encouraged for the future for Knicks fans, hoping that you guys will be a contender?
Right. As I said, it's good energy around here. I feel good. it's the beginning. It's it's hard to say. But I feel like things are going well, and but it's a long process to get there. And it's gonna take time for us. But we're a young team. A good group of hardworking young guys, and that's the first step.
Chris Ups right here. You mentioned there's no protocol for being a 7'3" guy recovering from a torn ACL. How has that changed your rehab and your recovery, and does that impact your willingness or unwillingness to put a return date, for certain, more so than like other guys would?
Right. No, the return date, it doesn't depend on me, really. I'm not going to be the one to decide. It's going to be testing, and it's going to be some proof that, I'm ready. My leg is as strong or, as it was before, even stronger. So there's going to be proof behind that fact. So, but yeah, we've been moving forward, and a lot of the rehabilitation process has been my feedback, how I feel. Do I feel we can push more? Or do we need to? And I've been happy. I've been happy with how the process has went, and I feel like with the team that I have around me, we're doing the right thing.
Like you said, there's no precedent, right?
Right, but change from what? I haven't done it before, so it's sorry. Yeah, but they haven't done it on a 7'3" guy. So it's something new, I think, for everybody. And as I said, we're just trying to be conservative and doing the right thing without pushing it too much.
We're going to take one more for KP.
I know the last couple of years, there's been a lot about you playing the 4 or playing the 5. Sorry. I was just wondering if you were, I guess, what position you see yourself playing when you come back, and also how you see the injury affecting your play style, if at all.
It doesn't really matter what position, I think. There's going to be times I'm going to be switching on guards, and I'm going to be playing, I'm going to be doing plays of a 3, maybe a 5. It doesn't really matter. I believe that Coach Fizz is going to put me in situations where I can be the most effective offensively and defensively, protecting the rim, obviously defensively. So it doesn't really matter. I believe coaches are gonna do a really good job putting me in the right spots.
Okay, thank you, Kristaps.
Thank you.
So, welcome Kevin Knox. Questions for Kevin?
Hey, Kevin, how you doing? There's obviously a lot of Kentucky guys in the NBA. Is there any of them that's kind of helped you that you've talked to during this process, like Boogie Cousins or Anthony Davis or anyone? And what kind of advice have they given you, and what has Coach Cal said to you recently about the transition?
Yeah, when I was at Kentucky, a lot of guys, come back and they play pickup with us and give us a little message and talk to us. Carl Anthony Towns, he probably had one of the better messages. He just says a long season, 82 games, you're a rookie. It's going to be a lot of bumps and bruises, ups and downs, but never get too high, never get too low. So, he just said to make sure you stay healthy and just make sure you come out and play hard every night. Yeah, I talked to him a lot. I talked to Bam, De'Aaron Fox. Some of those guys that are kind of just got to the NBA too. They're rookies last year, so they kind of give me advice too as well.
Hey, Kevin, over here. There's a lot of pressure with playing in New York. Would you say having an impressive summer league was a confidence builder for you heading into this season?
Yeah, I think I had a pretty good summer league, but that's kind of over with now. I'm just kind of focused on the season right now. But we all know summer league's a little bit different from the regular season, so it's a different environment, different players we're playing against, so I'm just got to go in with the right mentality.
Kevin, while we don't know, and Kristaps was just talking about, he doesn't know when he'll be back, but you guys finally had a chance to meet. What do you think of him as your teammate? What are your thoughts on the future of being able to play with him?
Yeah, he's a great person to talk to. He's fun. he likes to make jokes, but as we all know, he's a really good player, so I'm really looking forward to just getting on the court with him, learning from him, playing with him, and going against him in practice. Just to learn different moves, learn the terminology that he talks with. Just to be on the court with him would be a great experience.
Kevin, has Coach Fizdale given you a sense as to how you can have an impact right away on this team?
I mean, yeah, I mean, me and Coach Fitz talk a lot. I mean, one of the things he tells me, he wants me to play freely. I mean, he's not going to put no position on me. He kind of wants everyone to play positionless basketball. I mean, he's not going to put nobody in the box. So, I mean, he just kind of gets that message to everyone on the team, just to go out and do what you do best.
Any other questions for Kevin?
Kevin, what about playing in New York? Are you looking forward to that challenge? How are you going to embrace it in that regard?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, I can't wait to get in front of the fans. I know it gets pretty crazy in there, so I'm really looking forward to finally stepping on the Madison Square Garden and be able to play in front of the fans. I mean, it's going to be a great experience. I mean, I'm up to the challenge. I mean, I know it's a hard place to play in, but, I mean, that's why I kind of been raised at. I mean, I work really hard to be where I'm at now, so I'm definitely ready to embrace that challenge.
Kevin, you've been vocal about the Knicks making noises off season in addition to making the playoffs. What makes you so confident now you're with the team, and I'm sure that's heightened?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we had one of the better summers out of any NBA team this year, this upcoming season. I mean, the work we put in this summer, we got everyone in great shape. I mean, the energy we have in the locker room, on the court, I mean, it's just fun to be around. And I feel like that we have a kind of a bond, a chemistry that's going to help us on the court. I mean, we've been together all summer, like 14 guys, been in the gym playing pickup every day. So I just feel like the energy we have right now is going to go on towards the season, and we're going to have a great year together.
Kevin, over here. Do you have any personal goals for the season?
Yeah, I mean, one of my personal goals is to win. I mean, that's kind of the only thing that's been on my mind this whole summer. It's going to be on my mind throughout the whole season, just to get better as a player, get better as a team, get to learn everyone on the team. And my ultimate goal right now is to win and get as many wins as possible.
Kevin, sort of about that. The way this roster is constructed, you're going to get a lot of playing time. Do you think Rookie of the Year is something that's attainable for you, something you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely something that I have the chance to obviously get. But like I said, I mean, win is the number one on my mind right now. I mean, I don't really care about anything else right now. Just trying to help my teammates win, help myself get better, help my team get better, and just get better throughout the year.
Kevin, you had some nice words about Frank when you played with him during the Summer League. Can you explain a little bit what makes it special for you to play with him?
Yeah, I mean, Frank, we all know, is a great defensive player. And I think this year, this summer, he did a really good job of just having a different mindset on the offensive end. I mean, he's really more aggressive this year. And pickups we've been playing, coming off pick and rolls, being able to make plays for teammates, being able to get to the basket. That's something that he got a lot better at this summer, just to have that confidence and mentality to get to the rim.
Kevin, a lot of people still think the Knicks probably have another year of rebuilding left. You've talked about the playoffs. You said that's your goal is to win. What would you say to people that think this team still has another year left before it's ready to start winning?
I mean, yeah, we have a new coaching staff, a new front office, a lot of young guys. I mean, we see the potential that a lot of us players have, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with rebuilding. I mean, a lot of guys talk about it. I mean, we just want to keep getting better every single game. We're going to come out and play hard every single game, compete, no matter how long it takes. I mean, we're going to have the right mentality that we want to make the playoffs every year. That's the mentality we're going to have in the locker room. We don't really, not really worried about rebuilding or nothing like that. We know we have a lot of young guys. It's going to take time, but I mean, that's not going to affect us from going out every night and playing hard and competing.
Any other questions for Kevin? Okay, thank you, Kevin. Yeah. I'd like to welcome Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim, you're still a young guy, but with this group, you're one of the more veteran members of the team. What's your approach this year with these young guys from a leadership perspective?
Yeah, I think just like you said, just taking that leadership role, just showing them the ropes. Be a true professional, be on time. Don't take anything for granted. Go out here and compete each and every night, and just make their transition to the professional level a lot easier.
Any other questions? Ian?
Have you gotten a chance to spend some time with Coach Fizdale in the offseason or since you've been back, and what are your thoughts on playing under him this season?
Yeah, just being around Fizz, definitely had an opportunity to talk with him multiple times throughout the whole entire summer, especially being down in Miami. Just him being here, you know, he's done a lot, opened a lot of eyes to the guys, and really showing what he's trying to do here, and that's try to build a culture, try to build an identity for our team from the jump, and that's what we like. He's trying to do whatever he can to hold people accountable once that's set in stone. But for now, we're happy to have him. We're happy that he's a part of this franchise, and he's definitely making a mark and putting a smile on everybody's faces so far.
Hey, Tim. Fizdale has talked a lot about playing positionless basketball.
You said what now?
Fizz has talked a lot about playing positionless basketball. Yeah. For both you personally and the team, like, how do you think that'll impact your game and just how the team plays this year as opposed to last year?
I think last year you started to see a lot of that towards the end of the year. A lot of guys just out on the perimeter and one big man, you know, making decisions at the top of the key when Kyle O'Quinn was here. So just, you know, being freely out there, he doesn't want to, you know, limit anybody's talent. Everybody's been working, putting their work in off season. So if he's going to do that, you know, he's going to put the 5 guys out there that he trusts in order to do so. So yeah, I mean, we're happy about that, and we're just glad that he's not limiting nobody and doing what they can do out there on the floor.
Tim, right here. Was there any part of your game that you worked on in particular this offseason?
I think this offseason, I mean, I know I'm a competitor. I know, you know, my work ethic is hard, you know, so I'm not really focused on that. But this year, just really trying to just key in on, like I said before, being that leader out there and texting, calling guys, making sure that everybody's putting in the work, going to summer league, working out with Lonzo Trier and some of those guys, and just being able to, you know, build that culture and get those relationships going, so everything is easier going into the training camp.
Tim, your field goal percentage and three-point percentage dipped a little bit last season as compared to the prior year and your career averages. How do you see yourself improving that? Is it, you know, getting to specific spots on the floor or attacking the basket, something along those lines?
I think that's just picking and choosing spots on the floor, when to attack, when not to, and just having the guys that I know right now that we have, I'll be able to do that. It was the first time being a primary guy out there on the floor for me last season with KP going out. So I think I have a great idea of what I need to do in order to get myself going and in order to make sure I get this team on the right foot.
Tim, this team is still kind of in the rebuilding process, but what do you think it's capable of this season?
We're capable of doing a lot this season, and a lot of people count us out, but at the end of the day, we know what we're made of. We know what type of work we put in this offseason as a team, and all we can do now is go out there and prove it. We're happy that the summer is over and we're able to get into this training camp, everybody healthy, everybody ready to go. So it's time to get the show on the road.
To follow up on that question, as one of the more senior players and with KP going to be out, do you take more of a responsibility in embracing the challenge to keep this group together?
Yeah, I think not only myself, but I think Lance. We got a lot of veterans. Lance, Courtney Lee. Those guys are definitely going to help out tremendously in a way that being a true professional and putting that work in when the cameras aren't rolling. And it's not only myself, but all guys collectively got to come into work and get the job done. So, but yeah, I definitely do see myself as that person, and but also carrying and helping other guys along the way.
Tim, after going to the playoffs in back-to-back years before last year, can you convey to these guys what it takes to try to get there, to get to the playoffs, what it takes, how you come together as a group?
I'm so sorry. I didn't even hear a word you just said. I'm like,
hey, you've been to the playoffs. You were there a couple times in a row before last year.
Yeah.
So can you convey to these guys just how hard it is and what it takes to get there and try to rally them in that regard too?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could definitely give them insight on that, and it is hard. It's hard. There's a lot of late hours, a lot of early hours put in, not only in off season but during the season. So it takes a great deal of focus, a great deal of concentration, and a great deal of just not focusing on how fatigued you are, but how you can put yourself over the limit to get to that part of wanting to play in late April, May, and June during the playoffs. So, yeah.
We're going to take one more.
Tim, how do you guys handle not having Porzingis to start the season? He's such a key cog to this franchise. And what's your gut feeling on when you think he'll be able to join you guys?
I think KP is doing a phenomenal job right now of getting himself back. He's here right now with us, been in contact with us, and he's doing a great job, man. I mean, we know he's not going to play beginning of the season, but at the same time, we know that he's going to still be out there, giving us his insight and giving us what his ideas of what he sees out there on the floor that can help the team throughout the way. So until he gets back, we're going to hold down the fort.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
You should call me Derek.
since we're on the topic of Westchester, did Katie ever have to like give you guys specific information or anything, or was that just really like you guys no problem? Like in terms of like the opportunities at the beginning, does she have to send you anything? But she doesn't know. I know this obviously she knows the cover, but she doesn't know. So I'm helping her initially in terms of like obviously the scores table, get that set up. What about your like usual routine you guys do initially?
Next up, we're going to have Courtney Lee. Welcome, Courtney.
Thanks for having me.
Questions?
Courtney, as the team continues the youth movement and growing the culture, how do you see your future here playing out in New York?
I mean, I'm here in shape, ready to compete, and just being here with the guys, I just think the culture is different, and everybody's excited for this season. And one of the things that Coach always talk about is we're going to get after it, but we're also going to check our egos at the door. And so with that being said, I mean, I'm still excited about this season, and my mindset is just to come in and be prepared and do whatever the coach asks of me.
Courtney, when you look at this phase of your career and they talk about a rebuilding year, do you approach it as a building year that you're teaching guys, or do you approach it as we're playing to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, every time you step on the court, or every time you're practicing and you're preparing for a season, your mindset is to go out there and be the best version of you that you can be, and also try to help the team as much as possible, and have one common goal in mind, and that's to try to win as many games as possible. And if that's your mindset, and then you handle majority of those things on that list, I think the end goal is, I mean, are very possible when you speak about the playoffs. But the mindset is just to go out there, make sure we're competing every night and trying to win as many games as possible.
Courtney, obviously you learned from a lot of veterans. How do you plan on helping so many young players on this team this year about NBA life?
I'm just there for these guys, man. If they have any questions for me, whether it's on or off the court, I'm there to give my advice. in practice. I'm there to help the guys, push them also, and try to lead. Not just by just communicating and vocally, but by example, by going out there and playing hard. And it's like, this is the foundation that needs to be laid down, and just try to give those guys a voice and an example.
I was just wondering, what do you like about Fizdale's coaching philosophy from what you've seen or what you know about it?
Right now, I feel that he's a player's coach, and what I mean by that is that he communicates. He's honest with you. He's up for it with you. If you have any questions or if you need to get a hold of him or talk to him, he's always available, and he's always in the gym. So that's one thing I've noticed right away.
Courtney, there was the report that you want to get traded to a contending team. Just wondering if you want to respond to that.
No, not really. I mean, it was a source that put that out without speaking with me, so I'm not sure where that came from. But going forward, I'm a Knick. I'm excited to be here. I look forward to training camp, and I'm excited to be with this group.
Hey, Courtney, I don't know how much time you spent around these guys in the offseason. Had you played at all with Kevin Knox yet in a pickup situation? General impressions of his game, if you have any.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple weeks now, working out with the guys, shooting with guys, conditioning with the guys, and so I mean, there's a lot of young talent. And with Knox, he's a special player. I mean, he's young, he's 6'9", and he's skilled and can shoot the ball, and he's an athlete, and his potential, I mean, is crazy. He's one of those guys that you look back in a couple of years and he's going to be the face of a franchise if he continues to work and continue to push. And so I think the core group that these guys are developing with the young guys is definitely going to be a strong one, and one that New York will be excited about for years to come.
Do you feel like this group can surprise some people, and why?
100%. I mean, it's always those groups that people count out that always surprise people, and a lot of people won't be paying attention or not thinking that much about the Knicks. But then once we just come out there and continue to work and continue to fight, and we believe in one another, and like I said, we all have one common goal in mind, and we get out there and we do those things and we start winning games, I think that people start waking up.
Any other questions for Courtney?
I just wanted to ask about Frank. We started to see him play off the ball a little bit at the end of last season. I was wondering if there was anything you think you could teach him directly, just because you guys both have defensive prowess, and if there's anything he could learn off ball from you.
I mean, like I said, Frank's another guy that's young, that has a lot of potential. Even from just last year, it being his first year, I think he did a great job with handling everything, with being asked to play the point guard, being asked to play off the ball, and he's still learning and he's still growing. And so that's the best thing about practicing and getting ready to go into camp, that we're going to push each other and then going to help him out as much as possible.
Courtney, we hear that word culture used a lot, and everyone's saying that there's an improved culture here. So what is the culture of this team? What do you look at when you see the fabric of this group going forward?
It's just, like I said, everybody being on the same page with just having one common goal in mind, and that's to win games, and the focus on getting better, not worrying about self, coming in being selfless. And then we have a leader in Fizdale that's on the same page also. And like I said, he communicates with you. You can tell by when you talk to him and the tone of his voice and the passion in the conversation that all he cares about is winning. And he comes from an organization that's won at the highest level, and he's been around players and he's been around guys where he sees and knows what it takes to win. And he's bringing that over here, and hopefully it rubs off on us, and we continue to get better and continue to be guided by him in the right direction. And that's how you change the culture, and that's the culture that we're looking to have.
What was the best? Oh wait, sorry. What's the best advice you could give to a younger guy on the team?
The best advice I can give to a younger guy on the team is to be early. And what I mean by being early is not 5-10 minutes early. Be a couple hours early. Listen to all your vets. make sure all your vets are taken care of first before you go and do anything for yourself. And then just always just be eager and ready to learn and ready to get better and compete every day. It's a great question, my man.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Courtney.
All right, thank you.
Just try to hold the mic. It's a little tough to hear here, so try to hold the microphone closer to the mouth.
Okay.
To have who these guys introduce themselves?
Yes, as GDF kids.
Hold on once.
I gotta see my name.
Okay, I would like to welcome Mario Hezonja. Open up the floor for questions.
Hey, Mario, there's a lot of expectations on the outside for this team, and some of them aren't very high, but internally, after spending time with this group in the offseason, what are your expectations for this team? What do you think you guys can accomplish this season?
I mean, obviously we are a very young team this year. We just gotta go step by step, game by game. Gotta get used to each other. There's a new coaching staff, a lot of what I said, a lot of new guys. So we're just gonna go game by game and build from there. You know, we have a long ways to go, but we'll try to win every game, win as much games as possible. We know winning in New York is different, so if we can get our fans to support us, which I know that they will, we're just going to build an unbelievable winning environment here, and we're going to be a great team. Thank you.
Mario, last time we spoke to you, you hadn't really worked with David Fizdale on the court. He's known as a developmental coach. Has he already showed you some things that you haven't seen before, and are you happy working with him? And also, how important is it for you to maybe make the starting lineup?
I was with assistant coaches a lot, but they all have his voice. So we all do what he wants me to do on the court. It is a different role right now, I would say, but I was doing that for I'm talking more like point forward role, getting to paint, facilitate for other guys, finding my other guys, be a leader out there, be a vocal, and at the end of the day help my teammates, because I've seen a lot of situations and I can really be vocal here and help other guys, which I'm more than happy to do. Other situations than what I faced before, yeah, maybe low post. I wasn't really doing a lot of sets that I'm creating or scoring from low post, so that's going to be a new thing for me, and we're going to be working hard at that. And what was your second question? I mean, that's even David. He said that on his first press conference. I mean, we're gonna all have to work to earn it. We know there is no. I mean, not even Emmanuel or Tim or all these guys that were coming back. They're not coming with expectations kind of like that. We all have to work for that, and that's the right mindset, especially for the team that is young as we are. So you better work for it.
Mario, how do you view your opportunity to play in New York, and also how much work have you done this summer on your game?
Say the first one, say it again, please.
How do you view the opportunity of playing here in New York?
Oh, yeah, I mean, amazing. I mean, when they told me, I mean, I was in conversations with Scott Perry a lot, but when they say David is coming to see me, I mean, I know it's going to be serious. So basically, after that, I was like, I'm done. I'm done seeing everybody else. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to play, and this is not. I mean, the financial thing and like contractual thing is only 1 year, but that's not. I mean, our goal is like to be here all the time. So it's all on me now.
Mario, it seems you always end up with some French player on your team.
Oh, I know you. What's
Hey,
up?
how are you?
Hi.
Sorry about what happened in the final to win the bet. Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, we're gonna get you next time. I told Frank.
I know.
Don't worry about that.
We're waiting for it. Did you spend some time with Frank, and what's the chemistry that you guys have or could have with more playing time together?
Probably the guy that is closest to me since day one. Summer League 2. We connected right away. Very outstanding guy, like amazing. He's work ethic, he's, if I can say, seriousness about the basketball for his age is unbelievable. Work ethic, I already say. He's just, I'm happy to talk to him. I'm happy to tell him the things that happen to me. I'm happy to tell him the things that possibly can happen, but I don't want them to happen to him. So I'm definitely taking him under my wing, if I can say that. I'm not that older than he is. But yeah, I mean, I'm there to help him, and I'm not gonna let anything distract him, and I'm not gonna let anything put him down. You know, because I mean, I know how bottom feels. So I'll help him a lot. That's my guy, 100%. I love that guy.
We're gonna take one more from Mario.
Hey, Mario.
Oh, we got time.
Hey, I know you had offers for multi-year contracts. Why was it important? Why did you want a one-year deal? Do you look at it like you're betting on yourself almost?
I mean, as I said to the gentleman there, it just happened to be 1 year. If I can sign 5, I will sign 5. You know what I mean? Like it just happened to be that kind of a year, you know. But I mean, I'm sure we will talk about this next season.
So where do you consider your sweet spot on the court, like that where you can play the best that you can play?
What position?
No, what's your
Like
sweet spot?
your sweet spot.
Your go-to spot. What's your favorite spot?
Everywhere. Super Mario, man.
That's Super Mario.
You gotta learn before you ask.
Okay, thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mario, one more.
Mario.
Oh, I'm sorry.
My name is Michaela. What was your favorite basketball player growing up and why?
Kobe Bryant.
Why?
Why? His passion for the game. His determination, willingness to work, willingness to lead the team. All the extra stuff that he does for his body and for his mental preparation. All the side stuff that he does in order to get ready on the court. And then I'm pretty sure you know what he was doing on that court, so that's why too. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
They stole my shirt.
Where did you get that shirt from? Oh, they get that too.
Okay, I'd like to welcome Emmanuel Mudiay. Questions?
Emmanuel? Yeah, hi. You know, Fizdale talks about rolling out the ball and letting you three-point guards go at it. How do you view, you know, the starting job, and is that a goal for you?
I'm just going out there, you know, going to compete. You know, like Fizdale said, he's going to play multiple cards at the same time. So whatever he needs us to do, whatever my role needs to do, whatever my role needs to be, I think that's what I'm going to go out there. I'm just going to do. My focus is just going out there and being the best player I can be.
Emmanuel, what did you take away from the way you played last season, and was there anything that you want to really improve on this year?
Yeah, I mean, I came here halfway through the season. I got traded here, so I definitely felt like it wasn't the best I could play. I think a summer with the whole coaching staff change, and the summer being here working out with the strength and conditioning guys, I think just put me in a better mindset, better frame, got a full off season. So, being more confident, being in New York. So it wasn't the player that I wanted to be last year. So I definitely try to put in a lot of work this summer to be the player I want to be this year.
How would you evaluate where you've come from in terms of, from your rookie season to now?
I'm just in a better frame of mind. I went through a lot over there in Denver, good and bad. So it's definitely matured me in a way, and I'm grateful for it. Honestly, I wouldn't change my journey. I'm happy to be a New York Knick right now, and I'm just going to go out there, like I said, mentally and physically, just try to be the best I can be.
Emmanuel, you mentioned, spending the offseason with this coaching staff, but also like last year when you got moved, I think we were talking to you a lot about conditioning, and you were trying to get that together in the middle of the season, which is tough. Do you think it's different now because, you've had that full summer to work on conditioning, and where is your conditioning now coming into the season?
Yeah, I feel pretty in good shape. Like you just said, I had a full summer. It was actually a long summer, so I just went over there and tried to get in the best shape I could be. Me and Barr, our strength and conditioning coach, Shimon as well. We spent a lot of time during the summer together, so it was definitely a great thing. And being in better condition, obviously, is going to make you a better player and just put you in a better frame of mind.
At Coach Fizdale's initial press conference, he specifically talked about you and said he couldn't wait to work with you and get you to your full potential. What's the communication been like since then, and how has that impacted your approach this summer?
Yeah, Coach Fizz does a great job of instilling confidence in me and all our players. Like he said earlier, he said he's going to roll the ball out and let us play. So that's something that every player, wants to hear and just wants to go out there and play hard for their coach as well. But, he's been talking to me, been talking to everybody. He's been a great leader so far, and I'm pretty sure it's only going to get better. And the fact that he trusts a lot of us, because we've been here throughout the whole summer, it speaks a lot. And us being so young, he knows how to talk to us and he knows how to communicate with us. So it's huge.
Hi, it's me, Michaela again. If you could swap places with any celebrity, who would it be and why?
A young Denzel Washington. Why? Because I love acting. I'm not an actor, but I love, what they do. And you thought I was going to say a basketball player, huh? Nah, I'm going to go with Denzel. I watched all his movies, so that's my guy.
So how old were you when you started playing, and was there any inspiration for when you started playing?
I was 6 years old when I started playing, and my inspiration was my mom. So I wanted to, get a better life for her, so that was my inspiration.
Okay, thank you, Emmanuel.
How you doing?
I'd like to welcome Frank Ntilikina.
How you doing?
Hey, Frank, what do you need to do to take the next step this year in your mind?
I'll just say to take the next step, be focusing on doing a better season than last year. I think I've been working a lot this summer, and just to allow myself to go out there and with big confidence, and just do a better season than last year. I'll say keep playing defense, even bring the level of my defense upper. Keep guarding all the good guards in the league, and as well just be more confident in offense. Just take shots, make shots, just create, and allow my team to be good.
Frank, Fizdale mentioned 15 pounds of muscle, growing more than an inch. They're listing you at a different height this year. How is that going to help you on the court?
Yeah, it does. I've been working a lot this summer on my body as well. I grew too, so I see my body's changing. It's exciting. It will allow me to play a different position. As you know, Coach Fisdale is really big on not having a strict position. So it'll be exciting. I'll be able to guard stronger guards, even small forward. So I will just keep on working on that and trying to compete.
Frank, Coach was talking about the other day that he is taking a different approach with you than maybe previous coaches in that he doesn't want to make you into something that you're not, and instead he's more focusing on the things you're good at already and making them better. Do you feel that with him? Is he taking a different kind of approach with you?
Yeah, it was really big on just letting me play out of my instinct and just for me to stop thinking. I think that's what it was last year. I was probably thinking too much on the court, which brought my confidence down. As soon as he came to me, the first talk we had was about this and just about him letting me play and letting me be confident on that court. So having a coach like this is really, really good for your mindset, and that's why I'm really excited about next year.
Frank, Coach Fisdale's also mentioned he wants you to be more aggressive on the offensive end of the floor. How do you see yourself incorporating that? Is there a set number of field goal attempts you plan on taking, or is it just a mindset and mentality you're going to enter the season with?
No numbers. I think putting numbers would just be limit yourself, and I just want to be really aggressive next year. And of course, games are all different, and we got to also see what the teams need, what is our roles, what coach wants from us. So right now, it's start of the season. We didn't do a training camp yet, so we'll need more time to see what will it be.
Frank, over here. I was just wondering what your thoughts were on Coach Fisdale saying you could guard the positions 1 through 4. We know the point guard, the shooting guard, small forward position would probably be okay, but how do you feel about guarding guys that are potentially much bigger than you with the power forward if need be?
I feel great about it. As I say, I've been working a lot on my body, and I've seen also last year that a couple of plays like switches defensively, where I've been guarding a big man. I can't deny them to score on the post, and of course, as a competitor and as a defensive player, I will never say no. I can't guard him. I can't guard him. So. Right now, I feel comfortable about it.
Is it okay in French?
Let's do one more in English, and then we'll do French. Or we'll take 2 more English, and then we'll go to French.
Frank, last year you didn't take a lot of open shots. Coming into this season, will that change this year? Sorry. Last year you didn't take a lot of open shots. This year, coming into this season, will you take those shots this year?
Yeah, of course. If I'm open, it's a good shot. So I'll work on to make these shots, and also being able to create my own shot too.
Frank, just what do you think the difference is having the summer healthy this year to work on your game? Do you think that's going to help you? Instead of last year, you were injured during summer league.
Yeah, I think it will help me a lot this summer. As I said, I've been working a lot and on really big things that can help me be more comfortable and more confident on the court. So just not being on the side and trying to recover this summer will help me a lot coming this season.
We'll do one more English question, and we'll go to French media.
Yeah, Frank, with the French national team, when did you make that actual decision? And when did they formally invite you? Like, what was the time frame with the French national team and that qualifier?
I think it was a month before the 2 games of the qualifiers. I'll say I think it was the best decision for me to prepare with the team, the new season, being here with the new coaching staff, with some new teammates. It was just the best for me and for the team to be more prepared for the season.
Thanks, Frank. I'm going to French media.
It's okay, Mark. Il y a forcément beaucoup de choses qui sont nouvelles cette année aussi, mais c'est quand même une bien moins grande découverte que l'an dernier. Quelle est ton approche cette année, maintenant que justement tu es un petit peu plus sûr de toi quelque part?
J'ai à vrai dire la même approche que l'année dernière, c'est-à-dire de faire à chaque fois les meilleurs matchs que je puisse faire et de faire la meilleure saison possible. Donc voilà, rien ne va changer. Je dirais que je serai toujours dans l'objectif de chercher le plus que je puisse chercher. Après, bien sûr que le fait d'avoir passé ma saison rookie l'année dernière va beaucoup m'aider puisque je sais à quoi m'attendre cette saison. Donc c'est ce qui me motive vraiment aujourd'hui et ça me fait dire que voilà, je suis capable de faire une meilleure saison que celle passée.
Revenir sur ta préparation estivale, notamment pendant la Summer League, est-ce que tu pourrais dire vraiment les aspects sur lesquels tu as le plus travaillé pour cette deuxième saison à NBA?
Je dirais tout ce qui peut m'aider à être plus confortable sur le terrain en attaque. Et ça passe par regarder beaucoup de vidéos, voir ce que j'ai fait l'année dernière, voir là où j'ai un petit peu eu du mal à être performant. Et justement travailler ces choses-là pour être confiant, pour ne me laisser aucune limite pour cette saison.
Okay, thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Okay, we'd like to welcome Trey Burke. Welcome, Trey.
How y'all doing?
Questions for Trey?
Trey, how different was this offseason for you, just knowing what your situation was going to be and having some stability back?
Right. It was big for me. I didn't want to go in the off season with, a mentality as I had a good season last year. Let me just have a solid off season and come back and have just an average season. I wanted to take it up another notch. A lot of people was asking me why I went to, Palm Springs and was running the sand dunes and things as such. I wanted to take, my athleticism to another level, speed and quickness to another level. I expect to be playing a lot of minutes this year, so conditioning was huge for me before I even got on the court to work on, the skill stuff. So summer was huge for me, man, and I'm very excited about what's ahead, for all of us. And I had a great summer. I'm looking forward to the season.
Trey, how confident are you can take that next step under Coach Fizdale and working with him? What's that going to be like?
I'm very confident. I just doing research on his past, jobs and, how he's been able to get the most out of, other point guards that he's played with, the high remarks that everybody's been giving him. I've gotten the opportunity to be around him the last 2 or 3 weeks, coming out here, before I had my kid and playing in open gyms, getting a chance to pick his brain and to talk to him a little bit off the court. I'm very excited. He seems like a player's coach, a coach that's going to let you play through mistakes, but also discipline you while you're playing. And that's all you can ask for. He has championship pedigree, coming from Miami, in the past, with LeBron and those guys winning a championship out there. So I'm sure he gets it. He has experience in those areas. That's all you can ask for with a new coach like him.
Trey, coming into the season, have you had a chance to reflect on where you were last year at this time as opposed to where you are now? And just, you mentioned the stability, but also just the fact that there weren't teams, knocking down your door. You had to go to the G League, and how that's kind of, refocused your game.
Yeah, I've reflected on that a lot. And that's what keeps me hungry. That's what keeps me motivated and keeps me inspired and pushes me every day. coming into this league, you know, I didn't have all the answers. I thought I was working hard enough. You know, I thought I was putting in the, you know, amount of time in this game to be great, and I wasn't. Like you all know this story. I had to look myself in the mirror and, you know, just had to take a different approach on what type of player I wanted to be in this league. So I definitely reflected on 12 months ago, I was headed to Westchester, kind of at the bottom of my career. You know, I had hit rock bottom, and I put a routine together every single morning before practice and every single night. And each and every day I tried to stick to that routine, and it just got brighter every day. You know, now that I'm sitting here, I don't want this to be it. You know, those type of experiences, those type of reflections has, you know, made me even hungrier.
Trey, right here. Over here.
Got you.
Hey, so last year you took an abundance of mid-range shots. I was wondering for your shot profile this year, if you're looking to take more threes and get to the rim a little bit more under Fizdale's new philosophy?
Absolutely. You know, Coach Fizdale wants us to play fast, play in transition. I know, you know, that's playing to my strength. You know, when I'm playing in transition, when I can get out in transition and create, I know I'll get to the rim more so in a half-court setting. I do, you know, plan on taking more threes, you know, when it's given to me, and obviously not forcing them. But I think a lot of teams gave up the mid-range shot last year. I believe that I'm elite in that area. I love that shot. Now, sometimes it's not best for the team, especially if you're not making them. But it's something that I don't want to go away from. You know, I'm the type of player that, you know, takes what the defense gives me. And, you know, I play from that, or I go from there. And this year, if they're giving me that shot, I'm going to take that shot. They take it away, you know, I'll look for what else they're giving me. But I do, and I have been working on, you know, becoming more of a knockdown and consistent three-point shooter.
Trey, right here. You and Tim have had some history, you know, playing at Michigan together. What are some of the things that you guys have been working on this summer, and what you hope to work on in training camp that you and him can be more consistent together on the floor?
I believe the chemistry is already there, you know, with a lot of the guys that's on this team, you know. But I think, you know, just continuing to learn, you can always learn, you know, more from somebody else. You know, like you said, me and Tim, you know, we played at Michigan together, but we still each and every day are learning more and more about each other, learning more and more about each other's tendencies, you know, where we like the ball at. We all know when Tim gets hot, what type of player he can be. I think I was just watching film the other day. You know, he had got hot in one of the games, and I remember I was just coming up the court. I may have even had something. I crossed the court just to come give him the ball. He came up and got the ball and went to work and got him another bucket. So just a matter of feel of the game and, you know, knowing personnel, knowing who has it going at that time. I think that's a big part of my job, my role in this team, making sure, you know, those guys are getting the ball, you know, when they're hot.
Trey, talking about getting guys the ball, what's your reaction to Knox and Mitchell Robinson and what they bring?
Man, I'm excited, very excited about those two. Everyone obviously seen what Kev did in Summer League, which is still, you know, a small measuring stick. The potential is definitely there. You know, his ceiling is very high, but I don't think everyone realizes, you know, how much Mitchell is going to bring to this team. I got a chance to play with him at Open Gym, and I was shocked a little bit. You know, his ability to just get a rebound off of the rim, just go right back up and just dunk it. Reminded me of like a young, you know, and this is high praise. Reminded me like a young Shaquille O'Neal, just with, you know, skinnier. You know, he literally caught the ball. The rim was right here. He just jumped back up without dribbling and just, you know, monkey dunked it. You know, me seeing a rookie do that, I was like, man, this kid can be, you know, this kid can be great. So I'm very excited to play with those two.
Just got last questions for Trey.
So, having some ups and downs in your career, what do you think was your best, was your most memorable basketball moment?
Good question. My most memorable basketball moment. In the NBA? Anywhere? My most memorable basketball moment, I'm going to go with the easy one. It's just so I'm not up here wasting y'all's time. I say the Charlotte game last year because I think it was a summary and like a resemblance of my career and, you know, the resilience, you know, that I had to have, that I had to keep. You know, when I hit rock bottom, going to Westchester, being a lottery pick, you know, a lot of people obviously saw that as failure. I did as well. And once I got caught up and I had that game, it reminded me, you know, that I can be a star in this league. And, you know, I think that's the most memorable thing because, you know, like somebody just said, 12 months ago, I was, you know, headed to the G League. And being a lottery pick, that's, you know, that's tough for a lot of players. Some players don't bounce back. So being able to bounce back, get caught up, and have that game in Charlotte, you know, took my confidence to a whole nother level. And it even made me hungrier. So good question, man.
My name is Michaela. If you weren't a basketball player, what would you be doing right now and why?
Good question. If I wasn't a basketball player, what I would be doing right now and why? I'm sure it would be something related to basketball. I always had a passion for basketball since I was young. You know, I come from, you know, that type of family, sports. My mom played sports, ran track. Dad played basketball. But if I wouldn't have made it to the NBA, I believe that, you know, I'll probably be in the coaching or training, you know, helping the youth, helping the younger, you know, generation out, you know, of players get to where they want to go. And helping any way that I can in this game, 'cause I love it.
Okay, thanks, Trey. Okay, I would like to welcome Lance Thomas. Questions for Lance?
Lance, every year you talk about, you know, defense. Talk about this team under Coach Fizdale and your ability to defend, you think?
We have a lot of athletic guys on the team, and we also have young legs, so we should be, you know, willing defenders this year. Our only chance, I think, is to use that youth to be able to, you know, be able to outrun teams, to be able to pick guys up full court. You know, I feel like once we create that identity, you know, we have talented guys on the team already, especially a lot of young talent that we have, but they also have the ability to guard, and I'm 100% sure that Coach Fizdale will make sure that they're doing that.
Lance, obviously the team wants you to rebound and defend wings, et cetera, but off the floor, how important do you feel your role is as a veteran mentor, the longest tenure, Nick, going into the season? Obviously, as you mentioned, a team with a lot of young guys.
Absolutely. I would say that my role doesn't change. I feel like I've been, you know, that leader, that toughness, that grit since I put this uniform on. And I want to continue to make sure that, you know, our guys are bringing that and that they know what it means to wear a New York Knicks uniform. Coming into New York, a lot of guys, you know, their career could take off or their career could end. And that's the beauty of New York, is that here you got to put up or shut up. And I wanted just to make sure that, you know, our guys know that I have their back. And I'm always going to be a guy that leads by example because I know no other way to be. That approach got me where I'm at, and I don't see a need to change the formula. I'm going to demand the best out of each guy every practice, like I do, from 1 to 5. You know, and as a leader, you got to know how to get the best out of everyone that's on the team. You know, there's guys that I can yell at. There's guys that I can't. There's guys that I can call out and compete against. And then there's guys, you know, that you can just attack. You know, so there's days where, you know, I'll use Trey as an example because he's a dog. If there's days in practice where he, you know, I see that he doesn't have it, I'm picking him up full court. I really don't care. And, you know, that's how you consistently get the best out of your guys. You know, you gotta find a way to get them to be able to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. And that's the only way that individual success can be got here is to be able to find comfort in the uncomfortable, and that's something that I take pride in, and I think that's something I do very well. And I think if I can instill that in all of our young youth that we have here, all the young guys that are going to be here wearing this uniform, they can play in the most rewarding but most challenging market in the world.
Lance, I know the season hadn't started yet, but I guess you've been up here for workouts a little bit and spent some time around the coaching staff. What have you learned about Coach Fizdale so far as his approach?
I learned a lot about him, actually. I learned that he's demanding, and I know that he's going to make sure that we're ready. The workouts that we've been doing, we've been getting after it. He wants us to be one of the best conditioned teams in the league, and I'm pretty sure no other team has been running like we've been running. But so what? We want to be that team where at the end of the game, if we're tired, we know that our opposition is way more tired than we are. He's been preaching a lot of defense. He's been preaching development, and the staff and everyone has been on board with that. Every day, all our young guys have been up here, getting after it. And I made it a point to be here with them because I'm a guy who gets the respect from my teammates by what I do. I don't want the respect of my guys just because I'm the longest tenured Knick here. I was the longest tenured Knick last year as well. I mean, it is what it is. That's eventually going to come to an end, when I'm done playing. But I want to make sure that everyone here knows that I'm going to bring it, and then I'm going to demand the best out of them. And Coach Fizdale's approach is the exact same.
Lance, in addition to all that you said Coach Fizdale is bringing, Courtney Lee really was emphatic about the culture already feels different.
Yeah.
Again, being the longest tenure Knick, you could compare a lot of the years. So what is really different about the culture?
I would say that you just feel a different energy here. I felt the energy when I went to his press conference at the Garden. I saw how he spoke with a lot of passion. I saw how he, spoke about how he had to overcome a few things and had to look in the mirror and figure out how to fix a problem. And as a man, I can respect that because now a lot of people don't know how to, own up to responsibility and, be able to take whatever on the chin and keep moving. So when I heard that, and then I, see his day-to-day approach, how I see how he is with, the oldest guys, Sealy, all the way down, to any one of our rookies. There's no favoritism. There's no, I'm going to treat a rookie different than I'm going to treat a veteran, and I respect that. And I'm very excited to work with him, and I know that he's going to get the best out of our young guys as well.
Okay, we're going to take one more question for Lance.
Lance, you don't mince words. You talk about finding comfort in the uncomfortable, the development, the teaching. So tell us, how many wins for this team this year? How is this team going to perform through all this stuff and growth and development?
I can promise one thing. I can promise we're going to be exhausted after every game because we're going to play our hearts out. One, we owe that to each other, but two, we owe it to the city. And I'm not going to get into numbers or wins and losses because, that has nothing, to do with the progress of how we're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to fight. Every game, we're going out with intentions to win. But like I said, I can promise you that we'll be exhausted after every game.
Okay, thank you, Lance. We're going to conclude today's media portion with Enes Kanter.
Media day, man. Look at the New York media. They think it's tough. There you go. I don't see Berman, though. Where's Berman?
Questions for Enes?
Yeah. I want to take it in my hand. There you go. It's better like this. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing? Ian, good to see you always. Athletic.
So, with such a young roster, how do you think the team is gelling with under veteran leadership?
Oh, okay. To me, I think young means energetic. You know, I don't look at it as a disadvantage. I look at it as an advantage. That means we have a lot of energy, and that means we are hungry. That means we are humble, and that means we are willing to learn. So that's what I'm very excited about, and I think it's going to be a very cool season with all these young guys. A lot of rookie hazing. I don't know if you know about anything about rookie hazing, so I'm very excited about it.
What motivates you most on the court?
What motivates me the most on the court? I think it inspires. You know, it's very important because you play for the biggest city in the world, and all these people are watching you, all the eyes are on you. So I think you can do a lot of good things. So I think that for me, the most important thing, how can I inspire more people? So that's what's really motivating me.
Enes, you got not one, but two Kentucky guys on the roster now. What do you think of Kevin? What have you seen from him? And can you get 10 Kentucky guys on the team?
Oh, that'll be awesome. Hey, something's right with the Kentucky guys, man. Every year something, but I'm very excited about them, man. Seriously, I mean, I watched their, the summer league, and then they've been unbelievable. The most important thing, like I said it before, they're willing to learn, and that was the thing I'm looking for in that locker room. And then the guys are putting that effort whole summer, and they they sacrifice a lot. They're hungry, they're humble, and they are ready to go out there and fight. So I'm very excited about it.
And how's the three-point shot coming? And do you think we'll see that in games this season?
I met with Coach Fizdale during in Chicago during the NBA draft workouts. He was telling me, he told me, look, we know you can score inside. Right now, the most important thing, we need you to spread out the floor and start shooting threes. I'm like, okay, cool. That was my main focus this summer, because if a coach gives you that much confidence, you feel so much comfortable out there. So I think that was my focus this summer. I worked at every practice, so I'm ready to take some threes, man. Yes. Oh, I'm taking them too, for sure.
And what have you thought of Kevin Knox kind of mentioning playoffs and how that's a goal of his? There's a lot of talk about this is a rebuilding season, but he seems pretty confident that you guys can at least contend for the playoffs. What's your reaction to that?
I like it a lot, man, because I've been in the playoffs before, and then that should be everybody's goal. Is the playoffs. When I think about playoffs, my nipples get hurt. I'm sorry. That's the thing, man. It's the playoffs. That's what we play for. You know what I mean? But all the joke aside, man, I think we have a really young group of guys. They're willing to learn. And then, a rookie coming out and saying, I want to make the playoffs, that shows me a lot. That shows me that every day we need to go out there, put that work in, and then try to be our best to, just go out there and fight. We are not going to win every game. We know this. We are not going to be perfect every position. But the most important thing is just go out there, try to do your best, give yourself 100%, and take your teammate to the next level. My question is, how can I make my teammates better? How can I make the young guys, rookies, better? That's going to take us to the next level.
And how about the toughness that you're going to have to provide with the young guys?
I think it's important, man, because they haven't played NBA games yet, so they don't know how tough the NBA is. Every day, every night, it's like a bar fight. I don't know if you're in a bar fight before, but it's like a bar fight every night. So we're just gonna go out there and just fight. And then if anyone try to mess with your teammate, mess with your family, make sure you got their back. That's my thing, because I don't look at my teammates as just teammates. I look at my teammates like my family, like my brothers. So if anybody mess with your teammate, mess with your family, make sure you go out there and just show them what's up.
Enes over here.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you consider your situation with the Turkish government to be a distraction at all, or if you're able to separate it with ease.
Yeah, you got to ask that question, huh? No, because the minute you step on that court, you have to be able to forget everything. Whatever happened in your life, whatever happened with your family, whatever happened with your country, if your country don't want you, if your country, okay, I don't want to get into details, I don't want to get in trouble. But the minute you step on that court, you have to be able to forget everything, because if not, then there will be a selfish move. So whenever I step on that court, man, it's all about me, my teammates, and basketball and defense. So I think it's very important, and all the other stuff I can deal with them later.
On a little bit of a lighter note, you seem to have a lot of fun with social media, whereas a lot of other players are hesitant to kind of voice their opinion and make comments and have fun with it. Is that something you plan on doing throughout the season and going forward?
I think the social media is now. I mean, I'm getting a lot of troubles with that most of the time, but like it's a very good thing to interact and then just engage with the fans, because they want to see what you guys doing all the time. And I think it's very cool to just going out there, taking a selfie, or just like you go on a Times Square, taking a video, you go on a subway, taking a picture. I think it's so much fun. And I think it's really fun, and I think all the fans loves it. Sometimes the PR guys don't like it. They said, think before you tweet. That was my quote of the year, think before you tweet. So I think I'm getting better and better at it, for sure.
You've been outspoken about wanting to bring guys here, guys like Durant and other free agents, Kyrie, Jimmy Butler. But you're going to be a free agent too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So how is that going to work? How would you bring guys, but also?
I mean, I told this the day I came here last year. I remember, I think it was like today's the 24th, we went to the 23rd. It was like an anniversary last year. Doug texted me, by the way, happy anniversary. But hey, I mean, I told everybody from the day one, I want to retire here, and nothing changed. I do still want to retire. I want to wear this jersey to rest of my career, and I think I'm very proud to carry this New York name. It's very important. But now, all the stuff, all the free agency and everything, we can't deal with it summertime. But right now, we have a really, really important season coming up, and I think we have a really young group of guys, and we just can go out there and fight.
Okay, we're going to take one last question for Enes.
Enes, what's your message to Knicks fans?
What's my message to Knicks fans? Hey, believe in us, man. We're going to make the Knicks great again. That's my message for them. Just be patient. We're going to do, we have a really young group of guys out there. We're just going to go out there and fight and give that fight and bring that toughness. I think with Coach Fizdale, he's already changing the culture. And I'm very excited about the team, very excited about this organization. And we're going to do some really, really great things this year. I'm very excited.
Okay. Thank you, Enes.
Was it good?
Great. And thank you, everyone, for joining us here today for Knicks Media Day. We look forward to seeing you at training camp and throughout the season. Have a great day.